Hello, welcome back to Midwest Street Cars YouTube channel. Today we're going to be installing a rocker trunnion kit in our Escalade. This is a box from Brian Tooley Racing. There's the part number. We're getting prepared for our 1-year update video of the Escalade's cam swap. Let you guys know everything that we've had to deal with, if anything, good things, bad things, etc. Tuning. We're going to answer all the questions you guys have asked, and we're going to go through everything we can. I'm going to show you why we're doing the rocker trunnion kit, what it does, what it's for, why we need it, why maybe you need it, and how to install it. Follow me. All right, here we go. This is the first failure we've had since the cam swap. This is one of the stock rockers on the Escalade. It made it about 15,000 miles, maybe 10,000 miles. And as you can see, it's not supposed to do that. Hello, hi. My name is Broken Rocker Trunnion. I make a lot of noise. I've done a lot of cam swaps on LS1s and etc. And some of them I do the rocker trunnion kit, and some of them I don't. And to be honest with you, I've never had an issue. Either way, I've done them, I haven't done them. Never had an issue. This is the first time I've had an issue. But I think maybe it's because it had a long life with this camshaft profile, and when we switched to a more aggressive camshaft profile with, you know, maybe a little more lift and maybe a little more RPM range and, you know, etc, this thing gave up the ghost. Started making noise one day. I thought, well, we tore the motor up, but nope, that's all it was. Thankfully, a buddy of ours in town, Bobby Firepipes, had an extra one, so we put a stock one back on it to get it back home, and called BTR, said, hey man, what do we do? And they said, yeah, you're gonna need to either replace all those rockers or put a trunnion kit in them. And I said, let's do the trunnion kit. So that's what we're gonna do today. And you'll see as we do it, you'll see the difference in the bearing size and why you need it. And you know, these deals are great. They really don't have a lot of failures. Even this, you know, the stock application, if used the way it was designed, those things last for a long time. But when you start putting in, you know, double springs with higher spring rates, and you start putting in camshafts with, you know, maybe a more aggressive ramp, opening and closing or whatever, then, you know, you start to wear on the stock stuff. The cool thing about these rocker trunnion kits is it's just a press in, or press out, press in type of deal. So you press this whole case out of here, and then you press the new trunnion kit in. And then thankfully, though, the new ones they have snap rings that hold them in rather than just this little pressed stamp cap. But I will say, when this deal failed, I've always heard, you know, a lot of bad things about when they fail. And when this one failed, there was needle bearings up. Thankfully, Jackie got them all out, but she found, you know, a good chunk of needle bearings right underneath this rocker in the cylinder head. So it could have been catastrophic if we'd have kept driving it, or if we wouldn't have noticed it. You know, if she'd have had really loud exhaust and we didn't notice it, then who knows what would have happened. But we caught it early enough. We put a new one on it and it runs fine. So now we're going to upgrade it with this stuff and rock and roll. So how many, it's been a year. How many miles? Don't know, a bunch. Look at that. Everything's clean. Everything's so clean.
Yeah.
And that's because we did this.
Oil catch can.
We did the oil catch can deal and got rid of
This.
Yeah, we still haven't mounted that yet, but you know.
It's real mounted, you know.
I think about it every 6 months, but.
Twice.
But yeah, doing the catch can deal has, I mean, this thing was so bad before. It was literally caked on.
Yeah. It took us weeks to clean it all.
The springs are all still clean. The rockers are all still clean. Man, that looks really good. That makes me happy. I was like really worried that we did all that work and it was just gonna keep sucking oil. But man, that's nice. That looks great. Look at that. It's clean. It's all so clean. Okay, so here's what we got to do. We got to press the center out of this rocker. So that whole center in there has to come out. I got this little doodad. Pretty close. I don't have my arbor press up here at the shop yet. It's still down in the city. I don't feel like driving down there in the snow. So this poor old drill press, it don't owe me nothing. It's been around a million years and it does great. But it's got a little bit of a wobble to it, so we're not gonna hurt it. We're gonna use the flat side of the rocker here. We're gonna put it down on the plate. We're gonna put this doodad in the drill press, and we're gonna press these bearings out, just like that. Hopefully we don't explode this yard sale drill press. No problem. Look at that. Easy peasy. Haha. Okay, so here is what comes in the, well, hang on. Okay, so here's what comes in the BTR trunnion kit. You got skateboard bearings. I mean, that's what I call them. I don't know what they're really made for originally, but they look like skateboard bearings. Washers. New fasteners, 12-point. Ooh, fancy. Ooh, fancy. I like some 12-point fasteners, buddy. That's my favorite. What are these? Whoa. Big giant washers and only 2 of them. So I'm guessing that's some sort of an installation assistant. And then you have the, I guess, trunnions themselves. And these are the trunnion bearings. You know, fancy. So it's a bushing style. No. Yes. Oh, wow. So these aren't bearings. Hang on. Hold the phone. I thought these were bearings. Let me see. Oh, they are bearings. Okay. So they're bearings. Yes. Bearings. And then this would be the inner part of the bearing. And that's the outer part of the bearing. Sweet. Okay. So this sits in the rocker, strengthens everything up, tightens, and then this goes over it and it tightens everything down, and so it doesn't fail and wobble and screw everything up. What are these? Oh, then you got yourself some snatch rings, snap rings, snatch rings. Guaranteed to lose a few of those as they go pew across the shop. All right, well, what else we got? Freaky looking barcode. It's probably one of those ones you're supposed to scan with your phone or something, but there you go. That's the kit. So now I'm going to start reassembling these things using my handy dandy arbor / drill press. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our install washers. Bingo. We're going to take a skateboard bearing. We're going to let our press do all the work, or in this case it's a drill press, but whatever. Okay, I You just want it flush there. Then you take your centerpiece. Another skateboard bearing. We're gonna get it started with the press, and then we're gonna put the washer on top over here, I guess. Yeah, that seems like a decent plan. Okay, and then press till it's flush, and bingo. Done deal. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yeah! Woohoo! Yeah! Woohoo! You act like you've done this before, Boots. Let's do another one. Yeah! Woohoo! Yeah. Yeah. Get it started. Yeah. Okay. It's so good. Take our trunnion. Yeah. Push it through. Set it on the washer. Skateboard bearing. Get it started with the old fucking drill press here. We're gonna put that on there. And then we're gonna run her home. Okay. I believe that's a home run. Yeah. Nice. Then, to finish it off, take a washer, get you a snap ring, pop it on there, no problem. Spinner, make sure she's good. Do that 16 times in a row. And that's how you know that Brian Tooley has designed these kits for the average car guy. Because you get spares. I like spares. Because I am bound to mess something up. And so far, there goes another one. So far, all of Brian Tooley's stuff has been like that. Like all the cam kit stuff, the DoD delete kit stuff, it all came with an extra or two extras or whatever you need to get the job done, to where you're not worried about it, and so that you don't, have a totally bad weekend if you're trying to get this done and get the car running before you have to go back to work on Monday. That is why I like using stuff from Brian Tooley. It seems like they really do care. And they're Kentucky boys. I'm a Kentucky boy. I mean, I'm an Oklahoma boy now, but I was a Kentucky boy. I was born a Kentucky boy. There you go. 2 extra washers. At least 2. I sent one of those snap rings across the shop. All we got left is oil them up, put them back on the car, torque them down, and hopefully it runs a little quieter. All right, next up, we're cleaning our ears. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like it's been covered a million times in all these videos, and I know I've covered it before, but man, anytime you're working with valve training, cylinder head stuff, you take bolts out where there's, or anything really, if you take bolts out where there's oil or liquid, then you have to dry that hole, unless it's a through hole, if it, you know, a blind hole has oil in it or whatever. So I usually just stick the Q-tips down in there, let them sit for 5-10 minutes, swirl them around, pull them out, stick the other end in, make sure they come out dry. When they come out dry, then you know that hole is dry. And you can take a mirror or whatever and look down at it if you want to. Or a lot of guys brake clean and then spray it out with an air hose or whatever. Just however you do it, just make sure you do it. I can tell you this much. The first time I did a cylinder head or lifters and camshaft and stuff on a aluminum block LS, the cylinder head hole in the very back, didn't clean it out enough. When I went to torque the head down, the very last, you know, piece of the puzzle, as I was torquing it down, I heard a pop and the wrench got loose. And I thought, you know, I just broke that bolt. Oh no, I didn't break the bolt. I didn't know what happened, but it torqued back down. So I was like, well, that was weird. Come to find out, going to do a torque converter on it later on in life, there's a big hole in the back of the block where there was oil in that hole, and me torquing it down, it just basically hydraulic the oil out the back of the block. Luckily it was in the back of the block, but yeah, don't do that. Clean out all your holes. Always good to put a little dab of the old extreme pressure lube on the new bolt threads there. The old ones you don't really have to, because they've usually got plenty of oil and threads are rolled usually pretty good already. But on these brand new ones, just put a little high pressure lube on the threads, and then I usually put a little underneath the head of the bolt here, and that way it torques down nice and smooth and even. Yeah. Get those jobbers out there. Okay, that looks good. All those are starting good. Looks like they're in line pretty decent. Sweet. All right, these old LT engines, they just screw themselves together, basically. Sweet.